Kevin here with MyATVs.com. Today we're going to show you how to assemble a TAO TAO 150 Hummer ATV. It's a larger scooter, so make sure you get yourself a hand when assembling this. Try to put it on some kind of stand. I have a little jack stand here that we bought. With that being said, we'll go ahead and start the process. In your box that comes with it, with your parts in it, you're going to find 4 little C-clamps. They look like this. You need to get all 4 of those out, and you get the 4 bolts to go with them. They're just bolts with a threaded end on them. You want to get a 10mm wrench, and you want to have some Loctite handy. The first thing we're going to do is our headlight assembly. We need to make sure that the wires that are connected go down in front of the stem. The 2 wires that are unconnected, we're just going to tuck them back behind the front plate where the handlebars go on. We'll tuck those behind. Then we can go ahead and set our light on there. We're going to get some Loctite on our nuts, on our bolts. Put our plate on one side, get the top plate for it. We'll just set our plates down, put our handlebars in them. And notice you don't have to straighten these handlebars up right now. All you want to do is get these started. That's the tricky part. Start your bolt down through it, through the top and the bottom. Make sure it goes through the headlight switch plate. I'm just starting these right now. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to tighten them down. Got that one in. Do another one. On the back side. Just starting them. And I'm going to do the other side, the same scenario. A little bit of Loctite on it. Put my bottom plate on. Top plate, make sure the screws are lined up. Get it started. I'll put the last bolts in. Now what we want to do is just make sure that when we put our handlebars up, they're centered. I'm going to go ahead and snug them down some. Again, I'm not going to tighten these all the way. Just going to snug them so the bars don't move, because once we get done assembling this, we'll tighten them down here at the store, but you might want to wait until the rider gets on there so you can adjust them up and down before you put the final tightening in. So I'm just going to snug those up. They're good to go. Once you get it in a position, go ahead and tighten them all the way down. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and attach the front end assembly for the four-wheeler. You want to lift up your top A-arm. Go ahead and take the cotter pin out and the nut off of it. And we're going to install that into the top of our front hub right here. You're just going to move this around, get that to slide into it. This will move too. You might have to move it out a little bit. Make sure it gets down in there good and snug. A little bit of Loctite. Put your nut on there. Make sure you snug it up fairly well. You want to make sure that you stop this nut in a place where you can get your cotter pin. back in it. Tighten it up a little bit more. That's in a place where I can get my quarter pin in. All the way through. Just make sure you pinch it over. Alright, now we have the front end assembly on. Now we're going to install our swing arm assembly into the front wheel assembly. To do that, you're just going to roll this back, get this lined up in the hole, and get it down. You might have to take something to tap it in. You want to make sure it gets down there far enough for you. A little bit of Loctite. Washer in your nut. Go ahead and tighten this down. Just make sure you stop it in a position where you can get that quarter key back through it. Alright. We'll put our quarter pin back in. Make sure it's bent over. Alright, now we're going to install the front wheel on our four-wheeler. What you want to make sure is that your V's are pointing forward. So this thing is all coming at this angle. You want this to be your front wheel, and you want these to go to the front of it. Make sure your valve stem's on the outside. We're just going to line up with these 4 bolts. Make sure it's slid all the way on. Make sure you get some good Loctite on the 4 bolts. And then you're going to get your bag out that came with the four-wheeler. You're going to grab your 12 millimeter nuts, 4 of those. And go ahead and put this front wheel on. This is just like a car tire. You don't want to tighten them, put one on and tighten it all the way. You want to put one on, snug it up, and then go through and tighten them up separately. I'm not going to tighten those up all the way. Now I can go ahead and just snug up all 4 nuts. Alright, now we're going to install the back wheel. Just want to make sure that you take your quarter pin out, take the nut off, take the main washer off, leave this washer on. This is the one that's ribbed that goes across the spindle here. So we'll leave that on, grab our back tire. Again, make sure the V's are pointing forward on the tire. Your valve stem's on the outside. Go ahead and slide the tire on. Put our washer on. Make sure we get some Loctite on it. Tighten this bolt, this nut down. We just want to make sure that we leave it in a position where we can get that quarter pin in. Tighten down, put your quarter pin in, bend it over. And we'll go ahead and complete the same process on the other side.